The courtroom was packed. Every seat filled, every hallway buzzing. Outside, cameras flashed like lightning, fans screamed, and reporters shoved microphones into anyone who looked even slightly important. The energy, electric. The stakes, life or death, literally. Because after years of rumors, silence, and secret deals, the final verdict in King Von's murder case was about to be delivered. And what happened next left the entire rap world gasping as the judge prepared to speak. All eyes turned to Lil Durk, Von's closest ally, his day one, his ride or die. He sat stone-faced for most of the trial, but in that final moment, he smirked. A smirk that sent shockwaves through the courtroom. Was it relief, revenge, or something darker? And then came the twist no one was ready for. The judge slammed the gavel and dropped the hammer. Death penalty. Fans are stunned. Family members broke down in tears. Whispers of betrayal, backdoor politics, and hidden evidence are now exploding across social media. And as for Lil Durk, his reaction, that infamous smirk, has everyone asking the same question. What does Durk know that we don't? The courtroom was still reeling from the shock of the verdict. The judge's words echoed through the room like thunder. Death penalty. It wasn't just a sentence. It was a seismic shift in a story that had already captivated the world. For months, everyone had been watching the trial of King Von's alleged murderer. Waiting, speculating, hoping for justice. But now, that justice had a new, darker meaning. Lil Durk, who had been quiet and composed throughout, suddenly became the center of attention. That smirk he wore when the verdict dropped wasn't just a reaction, it was a statement. It was relief. Others called it a warning. Rumors started swirling instantly. Was Durk somehow involved behind the scenes? Did he know secrets that others didn't? The internet exploded with theories, and fans were desperate for answers. Inside the courtroom, emotions ran high. Von's family was devastated but divided. Some supported the harsh sentence, feeling it was justice for their loss. Others were conflicted, wrestling with the weight of taking a life even in revenge. Durk's presence only added fuel to the fire. Whispers about his role in the events leading up to the murder circulated, stirring drama that went far beyond the courtroom walls. This was no longer just a murder trial. It was a full-blown saga of loyalty, betrayal, and power. Durk and Von's brotherhood was legendary, but now cracks were showing. Insiders reported tense confrontations between Durk and Von's family members after the verdict. Arguments so fierce that friends had to step in to keep the peace. The family was left divided, and the city of Chicago watched with bated breath. But what had led to this moment? What unseen battles raged in private? To understand, we need to go back to the days before the shooting, before the trial, when everything seemed hopeful. Durk and Von were inseparable, rising stars riding a wave of success, making music and promises. But beneath the surface, things were unraveling. Sources close to the duo revealed tensions had been brewing. Creative differences, business disputes, and personal conflicts all played a role. Durk's loyalty was tested like never before, caught between grief for his fallen friend and pressures from the streets and the industry. Some insiders said Durk was forced to make impossible choices, navigating a dangerous game where one wrong move could cost everything. As the investigation unfolded, law enforcement uncovered layers of deception and hidden alliances. Accused murderer was no lone wolf. Networks of people tied to various crews emerged, each with their own motives. The case became a tangled web of revenge and survival. Durk's name kept popping up in reports, sometimes as a witness, sometimes as a suspect, and influencing the outcome. The courtroom drama reflected this chaos. Heated exchanges between attorneys revealed secret deals and witness tampering attempts. A key witness recanted under mysterious circumstances, throwing the prosecution's case into turmoil. Fans watched every hearing like a thriller. Speculation rampant on who was telling the truth and who was hiding lies. Then came the emotional bombshells. During one particularly explosive session, Vaughn's mother broke down on the stand, her voice cracking as she recounted the pain of losing her son and the hope she held for justice. Her testimony was raw and powerful, moving even the most hardened. Courtroom observers, Durk, sitting just feet away, looked on silently, his smirk replaced by a shadow of sorrow. But just as the trial seemed to reach a tipping point, a shocking twist flipped the narrative again. New evidence surfaced. Surveillance footage from the night of the murder showed an unexpected figure near the scene. Speculation ran wild. Was this a setup? Was someone trying to shift blame? The prosecution scrambled to adjust their strategy. But the defense pounced, casting doubt on the entire case. Throughout all this, Durk maintained an inscrutable presence. Close friends described him as locked down, rarely speaking about the trial or Vaughn's death. Rumors about his mental state circulated. Some claimed he was haunted by guilt. Others said he was calculating his next moves carefully. One insider said, "Durk's always been smart, but this trial changed him. You could see it in his eyes. Like he knew the verdict wasn't just about the law, it was about survival." Outside the courtroom, the drama spilled into the streets and social media. Hashtags trended, debates raged, and fan communities fractured. Some sided with Durk, defending his loyalty and mourning Vaughn's death. Others accused him of betrayal, convinced he played a deeper role in the events leading up to the verdict. The rap community was torn, and the line between friend and foe blurred. Amid this chaos, music became a battlefield. Unreleased tracks from Vaughn surfaced online, some hinting at conflicts and secrets that fueled the trial's fire. Durk dropped a surprise single with cryptic lyrics seemingly addressing the situation, sending fans into a frenzy trying to decode his message. The song's raw emotion and aggressive tone marked a departure from his usual style, signaling a man pushed to his limits. The industry watched carefully. Labels, promoters, and collaborators began distancing themselves from the case's fallout. Some feared association with the controversy would damage careers. Others saw opportunity, attempting to capitalize on the heightened attention. Behind the scenes, deals were renegotiated, and loyalties shifted as everyone tried to predict the trial's outcome and its ripple effects. Then came the day of the verdict. The courtroom was packed with press, fans, and family members. The air was thick with tension. Durk entered, calm yet focused, his smirk a puzzle no one could solve. As the judge slammed down the gavel, declaring the death penalty, emotions exploded. Cheers mixed with sobs, accusations flew, and the family was left reeling. Following the verdict, Durk's relationship with Vaughn's family became strained beyond repair. Private confrontations spilled into public view, fueling rumors of deep-seated resentment and broken alliances. Some family members accused Durk of exploiting Vaughn's death for personal gain, while Durk's supporters claimed he was unfairly targeted by those seeking a scapegoat. This division extended beyond the family. The Chicago rap scene fractured, with rival crews taking sides, heightening tensions in a city already struggling with violence. Community leaders called for calm, warning that the trial's fallout threatened to ignite further conflict. The media seized on the drama, painting a picture of a city at a crossroads between mourning and chaos. Amidst all this, Durk remained a figure shrouded in mystery. Interviews were scarce, social media posts cryptic. Friends spoke in guarded tones. One close associate revealed, "Durk's carrying a heavy burden. It's not just about the verdict, it's about what comes next." He knows this story isn't over, and neither is the fight. As part 1 closes, the story is far from resolved. The death penalty verdict marks a brutal chapter, but the personal, social, and musical battles are only just beginning. Durk Smirk still haunts the headlines, a symbol of defiance or something darker. What will the next move be? How will Von's legacy survive the storms around it? And what secrets remain buried beneath the surface? The courtroom's tension didn't just settle with the verdict. It ignited a firestorm that spread far beyond those walls. The moment the judge announced the death penalty, chaos erupted. Von's family, still grieving but now fractured, voiced their conflicting feelings openly. Some felt justice had finally been served, while others worried about the heavy cost and what this ruling meant for healing. The family was left divided, their unity shattered like glass. Lil Durk, however, found himself at the center of a maelstrom. That smirk he flashed in court was dissected endlessly on social media and news outlets. Fans were shocked and emotions ran high, with some accusing him of cold detachment, others calling it a sign of relief or hidden knowledge. Conspiracy theories flourished. Was Durk complicit? Was he secretly pulling strings behind the scenes? Or was it simply a moment of complex emotions too difficult to read? Amidst the storm, insiders revealed heated confrontations behind closed doors. Von's closest relatives reportedly confronted Durk in private, accusing him of betrayal and questioning his loyalty. One source said, "It was like watching a family unravel live on camera, voices raised, tears, anger, and silence all at once." Tensions between Durk and the family only grew, creating an atmosphere heavy with suspicion and grief. The rap community itself was split. Some artists publicly supported Durk, emphasizing his loyalty and the pain he carried. Others distanced themselves, wary of the controversy's impact on their own careers. The media capitalized, painting a picture of fractured friendships and industry drama. One rapper tweeted, "This ain't just court, it's a war for respect and truth." Add to that the emergence of new evidence that complicated everything further. A whistleblower came forward claiming they had seen irregularities in the trial process, alleged witness intimidation, possible bribery, and hidden deals. These claims added fuel to the fire, turning what seemed like a closed case into a murky battle of power and influence. Durk's camp denied the allegations vehemently, calling them attempts to smear his name and distract from the real issue. Justice for Von. But the damage was done. Public opinion was shifting fast, with polls showing a growing number of fans questioning Durk's role. The once celebrated brotherhood now seemed clouded by doubt. Meanwhile, the accused in the murder case was sent to death row, but legal experts predicted appeals and delays. Some believed the ruling was more symbolic than final, a message from the justice system about the severity of gang violence and its consequences. Others saw it as a dangerous precedent, igniting fear and unrest in Chicago's streets. Speaking of the streets, the city's reaction was immediate and intense. Rallies erupted, some calling for peace, others demanding revenge. Community leaders urged calm, warning that the verdict risked escalating violence. Local businesses boarded up, and police presence increased in neighborhoods linked to the case. Social media posts ranged from mourning to calls for justice. The city was a powder keg.durk. Single quotes, us own reaction was muted publicly. Sources said he spent days in isolation, grappling with the verdict and the fallout. His usual social media presence vanished, replaced by cryptic messages and occasional bursts of emotion in his music. Fans noted a darker tone in his latest tracks, lyrics filled with pain, anger, and questions about loyalty. Then came the bombshell nobody saw coming. Von's mother released a statement that cut through the noise. She expressed heartbreak over the verdict, but also a plea for unity and healing. "My son's death has torn us apart," she said. "It's time to stop the fighting and remember the love that brought us together." Her words resonated widely, offering a rare moment of calm amid chaos. Yet, behind the scenes, the drama continued. Durk reportedly met privately with Von's family in attempts to mend fences. The meetings were described as tense and emotional, with tears and apologies, but no clear resolution. Insiders said, "It's like trying to put together broken glass. The pieces don't quite fit anymore." On the music front, the trial and its aftermath influenced the entire Chicago rap scene. Artists released songs referencing the drama, some subtle, others overt. Battle lines were drawn not just in the streets, but in studios and streaming platforms. Playlists curated around the case became viral, and the story's soundtrack grew more intense. Industry executives watched closely. Some pulled back from projects involving Durk, wary of controversy. Others saw opportunity, betting on the heightened attention to boost streams and sales. Record labels quietly reassessed contracts, and promoters debated whether to book Durk on tours. The business of music was deeply entangled with the human tragedy unfolding. Social media remained a battlefield. Fans argued fiercely over Durk's guilt or innocence, Von's legacy, and the justice system's fairness. Hashtags trended worldwide, memes proliferated, and reaction videos flooded platforms. Even celebrities weighed in, some defending Durk, others condemning him. The court of public opinion was loud, messy, and unpredictable. Amid all this, Durk released a short but powerful video. No flashy production, just him sitting in a dimly lit room, eyes weary but determined. He spoke directly to his fans, acknowledging the pain and confusion, asking for patience and understanding. The video hinted at upcoming projects. A new album dealing with the trial's emotional toll. Fans responded with a mixture of support and skepticism. Many praised his honesty. Others demanded more answers. The divide only deepened. Some saw Durk as a survivor, others as a man hiding behind a mask. Meanwhile, new twists emerged in the legal saga. Appeals were filed, new witnesses came forward, and investigators reopened lines of inquiry. Rumors swirled of secret deals between rival factions. A shadowy figure linked to the murder case was reportedly arrested in a related investigation. The story was far from over. As Part 2 closes, the layers of this complex drama have multiplied. What began as a straightforward murder trial has evolved into a sprawling narrative of family conflict, street politics, music industry intrigue, and personal battles. Lil Durk Smirk remains a symbol of defiance, pain, or something else entirely. And the question still hangs heavy in the air. What really happened that night? And who will come out of this storm standing? The drama surrounding King Von's murder case and Lil Durk's role deepened as the story took even more unexpected turns. After the courtroom fallout and the divided family, tensions spiraled into new arenas, social media feuds, secret meetings, and behind-the-scenes power plays that nobody outside the inner circle could have predicted. Fans and critics alike watched closely as Durk's silence was broken, but not in the way anyone expected. Instead of a public statement or apology, Durk released a series of cryptic social media posts filled with symbolic imagery and fragmented lyrics. One tweet simply read, "Sometimes the truth isn't what you hear, but what you feel." This only fueled speculation. Was he confessing, deflecting, or warning? Meanwhile, Von's family was still reeling. Sources revealed that the rift between Durk and the family was so deep that some members were threatening legal action against Durk himself, accusing him of withholding information critical to the investigation. Durk's camp denied these claims, accusing the family of trying to capitalize on the tragedy. Emotions ran high, and social media became a battlefield with fans picking sides. Fiercely, the rap community was watching this unfold like a soap opera. Several high-profile artists began publicly weighing in, some offering support to Durk, others siding with Von's family. This created waves of controversy and even inspired diss tracks that hinted at alliances and betrayals tied directly to the trial. The line between music and reality blurred as rappers used their platforms to send messages to both fans and each other. One of the most dramatic moments came when a leaked phone call surfaced online, allegedly between Durk and an unnamed associate discussing the trial's outcome. In the recording, voices whispered about deals, favors, and making sure things stay quiet. Fans were shocked, critics cried foul, and the internet exploded with demands for investigation. Durk's representatives called the leak a fabrication, but the damage to his public image was undeniable. Add to that the emergence of a new witness who claimed to have been at the scene on the night of the murder, but was too scared to come forward earlier. Their testimony contradicted key parts of the prosecution's case and suggested the possibility of a larger conspiracy. Lawyers scrambled to verify the claims, and the judge allowed the testimony to be reviewed. The legal battle was far from finished. The city of Chicago, already strained by violence and loss, felt the reverberations. Community leaders pleaded for peace amid fears that the trial's ongoing drama would spark further unrest. Vigils were held in memory of Vaughn, but protests also erupted, some targeting Durk directly, others calling out systemic failures in the justice system. The divide between different neighborhoods and factions seemed to grow wider. Amidst the chaos, Durk's music took a darker, more introspective turn. Unreleased tracks leaked online hinted at his internal struggle, guilt, and anger. Fans analyzed lyrics for clues, debating whether Durk was revealing hidden truths or simply using the drama to build hype. His latest album, dropped unexpectedly, was met with critical acclaim but also controversy. As reviewers noted, its raw emotional content and cryptic references to the trial. Industry insiders reported that Durk's relationships with key collaborators were strained. Some producers and artists distanced themselves, fearing association with the controversy could hurt their own careers. At the same time, new alliances formed behind the scenes, with Durk reportedly working closely with legal advisors and PR experts to manage the fallout. Every move was calculated, every word measured. The media frenzy only intensified when a documentary filmmaker announced plans to release an in-depth series about the case, featuring exclusive interviews and never-before-seen footage. The prospect of uncovering even more secrets had fans and critics buzzing, eager for answers but wary of the sensationalism. This promised to add another layer of complexity to an already tangled story. As Part 3 draws to a close, the narrative surrounding Lil Durk and King Von's murder case continues to twist and turn. From courtroom battles to social media wars, from family conflicts to industry shakeups, the saga remains one of the most talked about and polarizing in recent hip-hop history. Durk's smirk in court is now legendary, a symbol of everything unresolved, a challenge to the world watching. But beneath the public image lies a man caught in a storm of grief, loyalty, and survival. What new truths will come to light? Who will be vindicated and who will be left behind? The next chapter promises revelations, confrontations, and perhaps the start of healing or the deepening of the divide, as the drama spiraled into its final, most explosive chapter. The story of King Von's murder case and Lil Durk's involvement reached new heights of intensity. Part 4 begins where tensions had peaked, with a family divided, the rap community on edge, and the entire city holding its breath. Early in the aftermath of the leaked phone call and new witness testimony, a surprise development rocked the trial. Durk's legal team announced they had uncovered evidence suggesting a third party was behind the murder, someone with motives nobody had suspected. This revelation sent shockwaves through the courtroom and the public. Suddenly, the case was no longer just about loyalty or revenge, but about a deeper conspiracy involving rival crews and possible corrupt officials. Von's family, while initially skeptical, cautiously welcomed this new possibility. Private meetings took place between Durk's lawyers and family representatives, aiming to find common ground. One insider revealed it was a tense but necessary conversation. Sides realized the truth might be more complicated than anyone thought. The family was left grappling with new emotions, hope, confusion, and lingering pain. Social media erupted again, with fans and commentators debating the validity of the new claims. Some saw Durk as a victim of a setup, while others believed it was a calculated move to evade responsibility. Hashtags like #TruthForVon and #JusticeForVon trended, highlighting the polarized opinions. The rap scene mirrored this divide, with some artists publicly supporting Durk's innocence and others doubling down on accusations. The city's mood remained fragile. Community leaders organized peace talks and outreach programs, trying to prevent violence sparked by ongoing tensions. At the same time, local law enforcement faced criticism for their handling of the investigation, with some accusing them of bias and inefficiency. Protests demanding transparency and justice continued. Underscoring the widespread impact of the case, Durk's music career, meanwhile, entered a new phase. His latest releases showed growth and introspection, touching on themes of redemption, loss, and resilience. Critics praised his vulnerability, calling it some of his most powerful work yet. The album served as both a personal catharsis and a public statement, blurring the lines between art and real-life drama. Unexpectedly, several high-profile figures in the industry reached out to Durk, offering support and collaboration. This included longtime rivals, signaling a possible truce fueled by the desire to heal and move forward. These alliances hinted at a shifting landscape in Chicago's rap community, where old grudges were being reconsidered in light of shared tragedy. Public appearances by Durk became more frequent but carefully managed. Interviews focused on his vision for the future and his commitment to honoring Von's legacy. While some questions about the trial remained unanswered, Durk's demeanor showed maturity and determination. Fans noticed a change, a man transformed by hardship but still fighting. The documentary about the case finally premiered, delivering unprecedented insight into the events and people involved. Interviews with family members, legal experts, and community activists painted a complex picture of pain, power, and perseverance. The series was praised for its balanced approach, but also sparked controversy for airing raw emotions and secrets. As the legal saga approached potential resolution, the judge's final remarks underscored the case's gravity and the need for healing. While the death penalty verdict still stood, appeals and reviews were ongoing, leaving the door open for future developments. The courtroom had become more than just a place of judgment. It was a symbol of a city's struggle with violence, justice, and forgiveness. In the end, the story of Lil Durk and King Von's murder case is one of complexity, where loyalty meets betrayal, grief meets anger, and hope struggles to emerge from darkness. Durk's smirk in court, once seen as a symbol of mystery or defiance, now feels like a challenge to us all to look deeper, to question what we think we know, and to seek the truth beneath the headlines. As Part 4 closes, the saga leaves us with many questions. Will justice be fully served? Can wounds ever truly heal? And what legacy will Von and Durk leave behind? The more this case unfolds, the more questions arise. Do you think Durk is really behind all this drama? Or is this just a massive conspiracy meant to confuse us all? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and for the latest exclusive rap drama updates, make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you're the first to get our updates. This story is far from over, so stay tuned for more shocking twists and explosive revelations. Thanks for watching, and remember, the real drama starts right here. right here.